Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Hendi Dwi Rahmanto from DKV. I will present about coronavirus impact in travel agent. King Travel. COVID-19 is a global outbreak that has a negative impact on the human and social dimension. After spreading from China, the pandemic quickly spread to 2,000 countries including Indonesia. The COVID-19 pandemic is a huge shock to global economy including Indonesia. The economy is in decline for at least the first half of the year and perhaps longer if COVID-19 containment measures are not effective. The COVID pandemic has caused disruption to global domestic supply chains, financial market volatility, consumer demand shock, and negative impact in key sectors such as travel and tourism. The impact of the COVID-19 outbreak will no doubt be felt throughout the tourist value chain. Small and medium-sized enterprises are expected to be particularly affected. The pressure on the tourist industry is most evident in the massive decline in foreign tourist arrival with massive cancellation and a drop in booking. The decline also occurred due to the slowdown in domestic travel, mainly due to the reluctance of Indonesians to travel. Worried about the impact of COVID-19, the decline in the tourist and travel business has an impact on MSME business and disrupt the employment opportunities. Whereas so far tourism is labor intensive sector that absorb more than 30 million workers. This figure does not include the derivative impact or the multiplier effect that follow, including that derivative industry formed under it. The tourism industry is facing a major decline in international tourist arrival with massive cancellation and a drop in booking. The decline also occurred due to a slowdown in domestic travel, mainly due to people reluctance to travel. Worried about the impact of COVID-19, the decline in the tourist and travel business has an impact on MSME business and disrupt employment opportunities. Whereas so far tourism is a labor-intensive sector that absorbs more than 10 million workers. This figure does not include the derivative impact or the multiplier effect that follow, including the derivative industry formed under it. The decline in foreign tourists, especially to Indonesia, will affect foreign exchange earning from tourists. Approximately decreased USD $30 million in foreign exchange earning from tourists. China is the country of origin of the second more foreign tourists in Indonesia. Travel agent is a service business for booking tourist facilities and managing travel documents. In practice, in business activities, a travel agent is referred to as a travel agent. It business activities as an agency, which benefit from sales commission that will be received as a business tax, are commission from the intermediary function of selling products such as ticket, hotel voucher, travel document, management service, and the like. This travel agent too, in practice in the field, is divided into two: agent and as sub-agent, or if they are termed as I have explained earlier, wholesaler and retailer. Agent wholesaler is usually appointed directly by the principal, for example by airline for ticket sales, which agent usually has to make a certain deposit with the airline, and later the agent of wholesaler is also entitled to resell ticket obtained from the airline to retailer or sub-agent. The final product of this travel agent is in the form of ticket, hotel voucher, document processing service, and other. Various problems to the coronavirus pandemic, which has an impact on the travel agent business. Although it is not certain, some estimates suggest that the peak of COVID-19 is around April, then subsided. Although it is not certain, some estimates suggest that the peak of COVID-19 is around April, then subsides after that, as has happened in the case of other outbreak, namely SARS, January-April 2003, and MERS, January-April 2015. The economic predict that economic recovery could occur in the second half of 2012. The economic predict that economic recovery could occur in the second half of 2012. Cases of outbreak of the SARS, MERS, and other virus outbreaks should be a good lesson for preparedness to quickly overcome the emergence of the next virus outbreak, such as COVID-19, which has an impact on the sector tourism. There are several problems to be able to respond quickly to the mitigation of the impact of COVID-19 in the tourism sector as follows. 1. There are no standard governance standard for planning, implementation, and controlling the impact of outbreak or disaster in the tourism sector, given that involved in the tourist business scan is very complex. It is important to improve this so that the mitigation of future outbreak disaster is better and more and real. Transparency, participation, and accountability in the interrelation of the parties. Both the government, the community, and the business world will greatly determine the quality and success of an outbreak disaster handling activity. 2. With technological support to map basic data by name, by address, regarding the workforce of tourism-related industries, such as accommodation, service business, food and beverage profession, tour and travel, and entertainment and recreation business. This makes it difficult for planners to calculate the need for financial support for workers who are affected and are constrained in their distribution. Three, with cross-sectoral, cross-regional coordination both within the government and various tourist industry associations from the central to the regional level. 4. There is no institution that specifically handles disaster impact mitigation in the tourist sector. Considering that tourism in the next 5 years will become a national priority and your country is a Pacific Ring of Fire country or the Pacific Ring of Fire as an area that often experience earthquake and volcanic eruption. The existence of this institution is very important. 5. Low funding capacity for disaster management in the tourism sector. 6. Impact on the decreasing for the customer. With the existence of regulation from the government to be at home only, and besides the some tourism objects are temporarily closed, making travel agent business experience a decrease in the number of customers. 7. The difficulty of manage a departure letter. The difficulty is arranging file for this trip is due to social distancing regulation, and besides that there are regulations that still work at home for some people. From the diagram above, we can know that the impact of the coronavirus has made the business in the travel agency will experience a decrease in the number of customers. The diagram explains that initially in February, the number of customers could reach 100 customers per month. But after coronavirus spread in the Indonesia in March. The business in the travel agency sector decreased by 800 customers in April. After that, until June, it also experienced a decrease of 20 until its peak in August, experienced a total decrease of 60, which initially got 100 customers every month to only 50 people in August. This is all the impact of the coronavirus, which make customers not want to travel apart from the ban from the government to stay at home alone, and many tourist attractions are still closed, so that the travel agent business has decreased quite a lot. But in October to December, the diagram shows an increase in the number of customers by 10% every month until finally in December the number of customers in October to December, the diagram shows an increase in the number of customers by 10% every month until finally in December the number of customers returned to 60 customers every day like in June. Maybe this increase is due to lifting of the ban from the government to stay at home and become the new normal era, making people want to travel or go to a destination by using the service of travel agent, making the number of customers increase. Solution 1. Give price discount promo. Crashing a promo is one solution to increase customer interest, because with a discounted price, customer will definitely be interested in the product or service. Utilizing website and social media as digital marketing. This step is taken to attract customer interest as well as place to interact with customer indirectly. COVID-19 has had a major impact on almost all aspects of life, including the tourist sector, due to increasing travel restriction, cancellation of major events, and reluctance to travel internationally and domestically. To overcome this storm, various countries are struggling hard to overcome the impact of the COVID-19 outbreak. In addition to coordination, important action to limit the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic and overcome the socio-economic consequences are steps such as it is important to pay attention to the production and distribution value chains to ensure adequate supply currently required. ensure that income and employment opportunities are not affected by the pandemic. Support for affected companies, especially small and medium enterprise, cooperative and informal sector business, guaranteed supply and availability of food stock. We must respond together to slow down transmission, strengthen the resilience of the healthcare system so that the COVID-19 outbreak can be overcome quickly. For this reason, coordination, cooperation of all parties is needed to overcome this epidemic. In the midst of effort to control the spread of COVID-19, it is to think about the future and plan for recovery, taking into account the various impact caused by the COVID-19 outbreak in addition to the policy intervention that have been carried out as described above. There is still a need for other police intervention and studying policies from various countries specifically to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 in the tourist sector. 1. Protection worker livelihoods. Financial assistance must be provided to protect the income of millions of workers in great distress. 2. Fiscal support. The government must provide concession to companies and millions of small and medium enterprises in the tourism sector as stimulus to prevent them from collapsing. The obligation to the government and financial demand on the tourist sector need to be abolished immediately for at least the next 10 months. 3. Liquidity and cash injection. Cash flow assistance to support large and small players from the tourism sector who are heavily affected by the COVID-19 outbreak. 5. There are several alternative social fund assistance for the impact of the COVID-19 outbreak for the 10 million workers in the tourism sector as follows. Social fund assistance of 3 trillion per month with an average minimum wage of 2 million. Also the focus on one or two business fields such as focusing on the business field of providing accommodation, providing food and beverage. Closing. Only with solidarity and coordinated solution across the country will be able to effectively manage this public health emergency. Solidarity is needed between the central government, province, district, cities, the business world, tourist industry association, university, citizen, and the media to stem the spread of the virus, help patients, and to fight economic collapse, including the tourism sector. This requires a set of strategic and consistent policy measures. The key is close cooperation among all relevant actors. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.